Welcome to the Leslie Hawkins podcast. Each week, my guest and I discuss one pivotal moment in their life, what they learned from it, and their words of wisdom. Our guest experienced a loss that most of us cannot begin to imagine. By 10 years old, he had lost both of his parents to suicide. What followed was a childhood spent finding his footing in whatever ways he could. One of those ways was numbers. He became a self-proclaimed mathlete, finding order, logic, and a sense of control in a world that had given him very little of either. Beyond the spreadsheets and strategy was something deeper, a desire to give back to the community he understood most intimately, children navigating grief. This is a conversation about loss, grief, and finding your way forward through helping others. Welcome to the Leslie Hawkins podcast. I am so glad that you are joining us here today. Please join me in welcoming today's guest, Joe Lyons-Rising. So Joe is a corporate wellness and mental health leader. He is the Chief Empathy Officer of Data Gives Back, more on that soon, and best-selling author of Pain Remixed, which we will learn a lot about today. So Joe, welcome. So glad you're here.
Awesome. Thanks so much for having me, Leslie.
Thank you. So this podcast is based on one question, which is, what is one pivotal moment in your life? The reason that's the question is I found that it's quite universal. We all have multiple pivots in our life.
Mm-hmm.
Some we can control, and some are imposed on us. In talking to people about their stories, found that there's always a common thread, and it's the resiliency, the courage, the agility of the whole human experience. And so we created this platform for people to come and tell their stories, for other people to learn about the amazing way that people have found ways to work within their pivots, and to meet amazing people like yourself. So welcome. We're so glad you're here.
Thank you so much.
So I'm going to jump right in.
Okay.
We're going to just leap in.
Let's do it.
And do it. And let me ask you, what is one pivotal moment in your life?
It's hard. I'm almost 47. There's been many, many moments. I wrote a whole book about the moments.
Yes.
And it took me 8 years to write that book. So I would say there's different moments almost by, where what stage of life I was at.
Mm-hmm.
Because every stage of life has presented challenges and also like incredible opportunities to me. So I guess if I have to go, I think I would go back to like when I was a kid.
Yes.
Thinking about the hardest things that I went through in my life, which was unfortunately losing both my parents to suicide, losing my dad by suicide when I was 6, and then losing my mom by suicide when I was 10. So
it's horrific.
At 10 years old, I was at a crossroads that most kids aren't really faced with.
No.
Kind of questioning life, questioning my path forward. And I was at like a happy kid.
Mm-hmm.
I was really fortunate to have a great family and so many friends and activities and interests. And after my mom died, I just felt like a big part of me died too.
Mm-hmm.
And it's weird to feel that my daughter now is 10, our youngest daughter. And I often reflect on that. It's like, it's a lot. It's a lot to process and try to figure out. So people often ask me, because now I get the opportunity to go out and tell my story,
mm-hmm.
and talk about, how did I get through it, even though get through is kind of a simplified way to say it.
Yes.
Because it's a million little steps, and it's not linear, and it's messy.
No.
And it's very painful, but it's also in this odd way beautiful. because it ends up being love at the end of the day that helps you get through.
Yes.
So I guess to go back and say, if I had to boil it down to one pivotal moment, I think it was that first year of losing my mom when I was 10. And this was like 1989, and then going into 1990 in the winter. And that winter, because she died in the fall, was horrible. Absolutely, like horrible, and that year, and I didn't consciously do this at 10 years old, but I realized that my brother, who was only 22 months old when my mom died,
Wow.
so he was 2 years old, he needed a semblance of a mom. And so between like my sister, my older sister, my stepdad who adopted my sister and I, grandmothers, aunts and uncles, like we kind of formed like Voltron, came together. Everyone's old enough to get that reference, and tried to make like as much of like a mother figure to take care of this kid. Wow. So I think that, again, I didn't know this. It just gravitated that this intense like love and protection and parental feeling I had for this child became the bright light and the path forward for me.
Okay.
As a child, a teen, an adult, we're still super close. I'm pretty sure I was texting him on the way here. We talk almost every day. He lives in Calgary.
Yeah.
We have different dads. So he's about a foot taller than me.
Okay.
And I call him Big Baby Bro. But that was the moment where the next Christmas, it was about him. Let's make this Christmas special for him, because the last Christmas, we barely wanted to get out of bed. We were so depressed and sad.
Yes.
And just overcome with intense grief.
I literally can't imagine at 10 years old. And so your stepdad, because my first thought was like, is there an adult? So your stepdad was there.
Yep.
And like when you found out that your mom had passed, how do you get out of bed the next day? Does that stick with you? Do you have a memory of?
100%.
Okay.
Very clear. It's almost a memory. Sorry, it's almost a blessing and a curse that I have a strong memory. Like I have memories back to when I was 3.
Oh, wow.
Which is when my biological parents actually divorced.
Okay.
So I do remember quite a bit as I get older. I'm sure there's things that I'm not remembering as much, but I remember very clearly just being told my mom died, like in my room by my stepdad. And the next day, I didn't want to leave. Didn't want to leave my room. Didn't want to leave the safety. I actually just wanted it. Like I was really praying to God that it was a really bad nightmare.
Yes.
And I would kind of go through that hoping and thinking alone in my room, like at night or in the mornings. I think at least for 6 months, I cried myself to sleep every night.
Yeah.
And I had a really hard time concentrating at school. The term that like we use in grief is like a brain fog.
Yeah.
Which is talk to an adult that's gone through a tragic loss or just intense grief in general. It's very real, right? It's a lot for our brain to try to figure out. We have a map in our brain, and that person is a part of that map in our world. And just like a computer program, if you delete that part, you're getting an error message.
Okay.
And you're constantly trying to find it.
Okay.
Right? It's
a good way to visualize it.
It was actually in a course I took with Mary Frances O'Connor, who wrote The Grieving Brain and then Now the Grieving Body, and I love that analogy in her book.
Right. Okay.
And that's what I felt like.
Yes.
It feels like this is not, hold on, error message, this can't be right. Let's just
Yes.
recalibrate. Is this real? This can't be real. So, yeah, I struggled in school that year, grade 5, like I barely passed, and I was getting an over an 80 average before that.
Right.
I was a math nerd, and I was doing like
Mm.
spelling bees in grade 4 and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, like
Yeah.
it's just hard. I remember even trying to do schoolwork at my desk at home doing homework, and I just would just break down, like just crying, and then
Yeah.
just end up back in my bed.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And so your stepdad is now standing there with 3 children
hmm
who are fully dependent on him.
hmm
And what was that like?
Oh gosh, it was very difficult, like
Yeah.
to put it mildly,
Mm-hmm.
for him. And he had already gone through trauma, that he was like a tough, old school
Mm-hmm.
kind of tough guy, but unfortunately a lot of that meant keeping that
Yes.
inside.
Yes.
And I would find out years later he did find my mom on a few different attempts,
Oh.
right? So that's there with him.
Oh.
Plus all the things that go along with being a suicide loss survivor that's lost your
Mm-hmm.
spouse, all the emotions of it.
Yeah.
And so he wasn't set up for success to process it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we didn't have the resources back then, or even like the understanding, like in the grief support,
Yes.
psychology, industry or field, to understand about specific grief support.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to talk a little bit more about
Yes.
the volunteer work I've been doing,
Exactly.
on that specific part, but that didn't exist
No.
back then for like myself and my stepdad. So, like many adults, and I would say it's also probably even higher indexing to men, his coping mechanism is drinking.
Mm-hmm.
And my parents, like just like in the 80s, a lot of people like partied, they drank.
Right.
I wouldn't say that they had drinking problems. Like I didn't see them like drinking during the day. It's kind of like a
Mm-hmm.
social thing, like
Yeah.
everybody else, right?
Right.
But that became, I don't remember exactly when. It wasn't like immediate, but somewhere in the like later in the year and a half after mom died, that did become his coping mechanism,
Yes.
and it ultimately came, an illness. So he
Mm.
ultimately, did become, an alcoholic,
Yeah.
and that was another layer,
Yeah.
right, for me as a kid going through.
Right.
And but him and I are very close. I talk to him daily now,
Great.
and try to help take care of him now.
Mm-hmm.
So we have some pretty deep talks
I bet.
all these decades later.
Yes.
It would be easy for me to be like frustrated or angry with him, but I'm not. I can understand, like I have a lot of empathy for
Yeah.
what he did, how he kept us all of us together,
Yes.
right? I had aunts and uncles that, bless their hearts, they were offering to adopt us,
Mm-hmm.
have my sister and I, live, with them. One of the best things that my stepdad did was keeping us all together
Yes.
in the same house, just north of Barrie, with our friends.
Yeah.
Because everything else in my world, like the rug just got pulled out. Um, and it was so important for us to have some consistency.
Yes.
And those friends and family members that were close were critical.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't. That's the one moment you need everything to just stop.
hmm
No change. Just
Yeah.
stay as stable as possible while the foundation isn't stable at all.
And he's still living in that house.
Is he?
So
Good for
he's
him.
recently, separated in the past year or so. So I've been spending a lot of time with him, staying at the house, probably
Okay.
every other week. It's actually really been a beautiful thing because um, as much as there's pain, there's a lot of beautiful memories,
Okay.
you know, of our family there and in the neighborhood as well. So
Yes.
yeah.
Wow. Okay. So do you mind me asking, as somebody who doesn't, I truly don't understand suicide. I don't. Um, was there was there signs? Was there illness? Was there a precursor for both your parents?
That is like the $1 million question
Yeah.
that most of us are always trying to grapple with when we lose someone to suicide
Yeah.
is um, you rack your brain of how you could have prevented it.
Right.
And that goes a lot with like suicide, loss, survivor guilt,
Mm-hmm.
thinking how you could have done things. So if I look at my dad, um, so I think he was diagnosed with bipolar um, late teens.
Oh wow.
So um, back then in the 60s, it's just from what I understand, the gathering, you
Mm-hmm.
know, because obviously I wasn't there.
No.
I was born in '79. So, but, you know, that era was not an era that you typically, if you had family members going through a mental illness or diagnosed, um, there was a good chance that if you did talk about it openly, that family member would be taken to an institution.
Yes. Yes.
And so I think that was a fear from my dad's side of the family. And so they were trying to manage it, support my
Mm-hmm.
dad kind of quietly just within the core family. Um, and so it's tough because also back then you don't have a lot of the things we
That
have
we do
today
today.
in terms
No.
of all the different types of therapies,
Correct.
medication, all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
So I would say that yes, like, you know, my mom definitely knew that my dad's bipolar,
Mm-hmm.
maybe didn't understand it like we do today.
Okay.
He was on different types of medications, which were um, kind of newer back then, like
Mm.
lithium and that kind of
Oh
stuff,
yes.
right?
Okay.
It's different. So um, I would say that yes, like from
Mm.
what I understand from family, like definitely there
Mm-hmm.
were signs like in his
Okay.
behavior, and there were things that even like why they got divorced in the first place.
Okay.
Um, but this is the wild thing about suicide is that I've talked to like close friends of his even on the day of,
Mm.
and they said there were no signs,
Right.
no clear signs. So there's no magic answer even for the, you know, highest ranking professionals in psychiatry,
Yes.
psychology, to say there's just a 100% answer to how to save someone
Yeah.
from suicide, right? And our brains are complex,
Very.
our emotions are complex. What I have heard from those that have attempted, um, they didn't complete, and now they've haven't tried again. They've changed their life, and
Mm.
they're not even, you know, not having those suicidal thoughts anymore. Is how actually for some of them it was a very like fleeting moment.
Okay.
There was a build up, yes,
Yes.
but the actual thought of it, how it was going to happen, kind of happened in a moment. At the same time, they were able to stop it in the moment,
Yes.
and then the next day they didn't feel the same. Like they weren't feeling
Okay.
that close again. It wasn't like
Right.
a constant. I just want to do this.
Yes.
I know every case is different
Mm-hmm.
and unique, um, but that's when I go out and I do talks around suicide awareness
Yes.
or prevention. That's one of the messages I try to stress is that every day in our lives are different.
Mm.
We feel different every hour of every day. It might seem constant because there's slight changes,
Yes.
and some days it's gonna feel like life really sucks.
Yeah.
But you don't know what the next couple hours are gonna be.
Mm.
If you don't know what tomorrow is gonna be. So if you act on this feeling at that time,
Mm-hmm.
you could be limiting yourself to all these beautiful opportunities in your life.
Yes.
You don't know that's coming. And I think I've been fortunate to find that perspective, and I'm the opposite now. I don't want to leave. I want to
No.
stay here as long
Yeah.
as possible, with my family and friends that I love so dear. So
That's amazing.
mm,
So you managed to get through high school, right? You got through
yes.
elementary school, got through high school, university,
Mhm.
and then how did you end up here? Like all of the
Yeah.
work that you've done, I can't imagine, but trying to find a way, trying to find a path in life.
So, I feel extremely fortunate that, and I will give a lot of props to my stepdad, is that even though he was grappling with his own demons and challenges, he was very much about, if I wanted to go to university,
Yes.
he's going to fully support it. If I don't,
Right.
that's fine. But I had this idea since I was a kid that I wanted to go to university. I wanted to do these things. So he'd have these really like frank and open discussions with me without pressure and stress. And that allowed me to like realize, okay, like I want to do something, because I'm a mathlete. So literally was on the math club and doing these things outside of sports and snowboarding. There's something about, and you know what, I actually think it might be around math, is that math, I can figure out all these crazy calculations.
Yes.
When I couldn't figure out the calculations of life,
Yes.
of what happened to me, but I can rely on math.
Right.
And I can rely on science.
That makes absolute total sense.
Like I can
Yes.
figure out all the variables, because there's all these other variables that I'm trying to figure out, and my brain can't wrap my head around it. So, yeah, I went to Wilfrid Laurier University. Ironically, that's where my biological parents met.
Oh wow. Okay.
And yeah, I got a degree in economics and a minor in business and finance. And it was at university, I think, because I was meeting so many great people that didn't know my story, and they held their stories, that I found a really profound appreciation for where I had been and where I was,
Yes.
and the people that supported me to get me there, and all those types of things. So,
Did you talk about it openly? Like when you were in high school, university?
high school, I did not.
Okay.
There was only a couple like very close friends, but even those, I didn't tell certain aspects.
Got it. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, the biggest one being that I found my mom on her second last suicide attempt by our house. That one I kept buried.
Yeah.
And that was the one that gave me night terrors and nightmares for years, that I didn't express it until I was in my last year of high school. And again, I'm going to age myself because it was OAC, or grade 13. And,
we're all young here.
And all of a sudden I got that we were prompted to write this essay, and it was more of like a memoir style short story.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I just put it all out there on the page.
Wow. That's brave.
And these are like, I hadn't even talked to like family or friends about this story, but in my mind, I can still, like, when I was 10 years old, I can still envision it. I'm okay with that now, though.
Okay.
I'm in a different place, and I think it's because at 18, I got it on the page.
Yes.
It ended up becoming, I think, probably the best thing I'd ever written in my life, because it was the most intense emotional thing that I'd ever experienced.
Super raw.
And my English teacher asked me to come in to talk to her, and I was like, "Oh crap, maybe I overdid it. Maybe I overshared, and I shouldn't have done that. Maybe I'm in trouble." And I think she asked me, like, "Can I give you a hug?" I'm gonna get emotional now.
Yeah.
But it was very beautiful. And obviously she asked me, like, "Are you okay? Like, do you talk to anyone?" And I'm like, it actually feels good.
Mm. I finally
That
got it out.
that felt really good. And from there, I started to look at English in terms of history, the romantic poets,
Yes.
Shakespeare, Wordsworth. I started to really enjoy poetry, and I started to write poetry.
Oh,
And I wrote a lot of poetry actually about what I went through.
okay.
And so probably the next 4 or 5 years, even at university, I would write poetry, and
So good.
I found this great outlet in writing. Like I always say, my poetry is like a Hallmark card. Like it's nothing great. I did go to I think it's not called improv, but like a poetry session where you can go up
Okay.
and share.
Yes.
I shared it. It felt great, but I mean, I was surrounded by like incredible poets,
Mhm.
but it was really cool. And that's when I started to think one day, I think I want to write a book,
Yeah.
and I could do it. Hopefully it'll help me, just like that one story and the poetry has helped getting it out, but maybe I can help other people.
Yes.
Like maybe I'm supposed to have gone through all this for a reason.
Mm.
And it started to feel good.
That's
Like
incredible.
there was purpose behind all
Yes.
this horrible pain.
Mm.
But it would take me, I guess I was probably about 46, 47.
Okay.
Sorry, 36, 37
Yeah.
when I started writing it. And the inspiration of really starting to write the book was when our youngest daughter, Grace, was born.
Okay.
And I had a profound moment, like one of the most beautiful moments with her,
Mm.
and an appreciation for the miracle of life.
Yes.
Yeah.
It must, writing poetry and writing your book and sharing your story at least sharing your story to start, must have been somewhat cathartic for you,
Oh, yes.
right? Like a bit of a release of no longer having it buried deep.
It totally was. And I kind of have like writing conditions, or where I have found that I best write.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I took that love of being a mathlete to a career of data analytics. So I have this whole
Okay.
brain that 9 to 5 and the sun is up,
Yes.
I can crunch data, and I call it getting into the matrix, and I can do all this stuff, right? In this CPG industry, retail,
Yeah.
food service.
Yeah.
But there's that other side,
Mm-hmm.
right? Especially like memoir writing and, writing a nonfiction, is that I'd be up at 5 in
Yeah.
the basement, candlelight.
Mm.
I think I wrote the first few chapters just on the couch with a blanket around me.
Yes.
And I was crying
I
a
bet.
lot at times. And it was incredibly cathartic.
Yeah.
So cathartic. And then what became this great kind of tradition is that I would go right in the morning, and I kind of liked it because I felt like the world wasn't awake yet. Like my family definitely was not awake, and it was
Right.
usually on like a Sunday morning because I was still working 9 to 5. And then when they woke up, I would look forward to reading it to my wife.
Really good.
And at that point, I wasn't writing it to get it published one day, or I didn't really have like those ideas. I still was, thinking that my writing sucked, and I'm not going to be a great author and all these kind of things, right?
Yeah. We get in our own heads.
Yeah.
Yep.
But writing it for me first, and then sharing it with my wife, that was the best.
Yeah.
That was the best feeling. And at times she would cry and then I would cry, but it was good. Like it was very like therapeutic.
Very.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I love the expression mathlete, by the way. That's a good one. I love it. But it's also like you've got this math brain, you got the economics, but you're highly creative and you're inspired by music.
Yes.
Right?
Very much
and so talk to us a little bit about what you're doing now and how you've taken this purpose into not only writing a book, but in helping others.
Sure. Yeah. So after, building a successful corporate career in Canada and CPG, decided to quit my job. I was director of insights at a really big food company. Quit my job August 2020. And first of all, the big part of that was that I wanted to find a way to work from home indefinitely during COVID.
Yes.
And I do have a very late diagnosed anxiety disorder.
Okay.
Which, not surprising, is all triggered by the health and wellness of my family and friends.
Okay.
So my immediate need was I need to find a way to stay home indefinitely. And all the data was showing that, COVID was not going to be going away in a couple of weeks or months.
No.
And so when I thought about what kind of job, like I could go work another corporate job, but I want to do something with greater purpose than just selling grocery items with data. Now I'm good at that to help people. So what if I took those passions of analytics, fact-based storytelling? I really enjoy training people, coaching, so I can. So I built a social enterprise called Data Gives Back.
Yes.
And I think in that first conversation with Carly, my wife, about it, I just said that I think there's an opportunity here in this kind of wild world where everything's going through lockdowns and we don't even have vaccines yet and all these things that we can help people in need. And without a doubt, the first nonprofit charity in mind was Season Center for Grieving Children.
Okay.
Back up in Barrie where I grew up. And they offer free peer-to-peer group sessions for grieving children, teens, young adults, and their caregivers. All the things that we didn't have growing up. Right.
So it didn't exist when you were 10 and
no,
going through?
No, it was founded 30 years ago in 1995, 96.
Okay.
So I had already known about them a little bit, and I'd done a little bit of fundraising with them. And we just decided to go big with it. As I said, let's go big on giving back. Let's do 25% of our gross revenue.
Amazing.
I wanted it to be revenue because I wanted it to be fully transparent.
Yes.
I didn't want to have like some funky math.
Right.
On profit.
When it's net proceeds.
Net proceeds. And I had done fundraisers before, and the net proceeds, which is still amazing. Like anything you can give back is amazing.
Agreed.
But the vision of our whole social enterprise, transparency was one of the most critical pieces. And because we want people to trust us, like we're, even though it was kind of like my baby to begin with, it's always been my wife and I.
Yes.
Because we obviously made a lot of sacrifices to make it happen.
I bet.
But they were the best sacrifices. And so, I would end up working and signing these big clients like Walmart Canada.
Amazing.
And I would teach them Excel and stuff like that. The most incredible thing is before I would start training, they would ask, can you talk a little bit about the charity? Can you talk a little bit about your mission?
So good.
And so even though I was technically doing a lot of the same things I was doing before, it feels completely different. And I would tell everyone at the end, like I would thank them, like thank the company and thank them, like just being here today, me being hired, you're helping provide healing kids with hope, or healing their grief journey with hope. While we learn Excel.
Yes.
Right? While we learn VLOOKUPs, you're helping a grieving child. Yeah.
That's amazing that you put those two together, right? Because I was trying to figure out like what could you teach?
Right.
And there's so many tools out there that people use every day that you can help teach them how to use it more efficiently, better every way. But it's ultimately driving your purpose.
Yeah, and I joke around because obviously at the end of the day, like the grieving process is tied to mental health. Obviously, it's actually one of the most human experiences that ties us together as human beings. I joke around that saying when I'm training Excel or other tools, I'm improving their mental health so that they're not spending and wasting as much time in Excel. They're their experiences doing data analytics are not as frustrating, and maybe they can um, have some extra hours in a day to do things they like or they
Right.
enjoy rather
Spend time with the family
than crushing it
instead.
out, manually inputting things on spreadsheets. So,
That's so good.
mhm.
Okay. Um, the the Center for Grieving Children, is that the right name?
A season center for grieving
Season
children.
Center.
Yes.
Okay. So how did you find them, and do you offer counseling help with them as well, or no, you just keep that in sort of your corporate world?
So, no, I have been a volunteer with them for like just shortly after I decided to launch the business,
Yes.
and they created this really cool volunteer role for me as
Mm.
executive grief ambassador,
Oh, wow.
and it was incredibly special and meaningful because the co-founder Rolly Ramey, he founded Season Center after the tragic deaths of both his daughters in 1995. Um, and the inspiration of his story about how he said, well, if I'm grieving as an adult and I'm having a hard time finding resources, well, I can't even imagine about for kids.
Yes.
So talk about pain to purpose to the next level. So he said to me, I think like there's an opportunity because of your story to be able to go out and talk about it.
Yes.
Talk about also like what could have been. What could have been if myself and my siblings had that kind of
Yes.
resources,
Oh, totally.
right? And it was very, very difficult. Like I talked about, yes, like my brother being a catalyst and all those types of things, but obviously like a lot of pain for many, many years. And I see the difference because I'm now a volunteer, not just an executive grief ambassador with Season Center. I've been a volunteer grief facilitator.
Okay.
And so what that means is I'm called a buddy, and I go up every other 2 weeks, and there is a group leader of the program, and they have a social work or psychology background, and then we have buddy volunteers like myself,
Okay.
and we're working directly with the kids just to support them through all the activities. And that I've done that for the past 2 years, and that has been one of the most special, profound experiences, like where I'm supposed to be.
Yes.
That makes sense.
Highly rewarding.
Great, incredibly rewarding. It puts all the other stresses in life in perspective. So it's a great program because you don't have to have lived experience. You don't have to have a background in psychology
Yes.
or social work. Just a big heart to help give back, and they're always looking for new volunteers. So
Yes. And so Data Gives Back is the training that you offer, but you're also involved with a company called Pure Minds.
yes,
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
definitely. So one of the really cool things about writing the book, and when it was published in November 2024, it started to open up opportunities for me to go out and do guest talks with a whole host of different types of associations, but also in the corporate world where I've
Yes.
been training and working in for so many years. And so the founder and CEO of Pure Minds,
Yes.
Nina Purewell, is one of my closest friends for the past 20 years. She also joined me as a volunteer executive grief ambassador with Season Center, I think in 2021. But we've known each other for 20 years because we used to work at Nielsen. Again, we were data nerds. I was definitely way more nerdy than she was. And
Own it.
100%. Yeah. And we're cool with that because now it's been over a year. She asked me if I would be one of the coaches on her team.
Yes.
And so we have this amazing team of 6 people across Canada, the US, and Mexico. And Nina's the spearhead. She's been really breaking the glass ceiling in the space for a decade now. And it's phenomenal because I'm now actually doing corporate workshops
So good.
for different areas of mental health and wellness. And yeah, I'm part of her team.
Great.
And that part's like a pinch me moment. It is a, you know, a big change. People know me as a data person and
Right.
trainer, but really since I launched Data Gives Back, it's been rooted in mental health,
Yes.
right? It's been driven by my parents' legacy
Mm-hmm.
to give back, do something positive like pain to purpose.
Yes.
Even if I'm deep in some you know, consumer packaged goods terminology and
Yes.
acronyms, the whole reason the company exists and why I'm doing it is to help the mental health of others.
Right.
Now I get to directly do that.
Yes.
And so the past, oh my gosh, the past year and a half, like the opportunities been phenomenal. Like right here,
So great.
right? Like this chat today wouldn't
Yes.
have happened
No.
without all this stuff that has happened. So I think at the end of the day, like we're complex human beings, but like we have a brain that has a lot of different areas,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and for some of us, we can't just be doing one thing,
No.
right? Because we have a calling to help other people, or a calling to write and produce music, or
Mm-hmm.
to do something in sports or something like that, right? So
Yes.
I think that's important to remember, is that all those parts are critical.
Mm-hmm.
I think for happiness.
Yes. So after that 8-year journey and you produce your book, it's
Mhm.
published.
Yep.
What was the reaction to it?
It blew me away. It's an assisted self-published book, so
Okay.
it's like a long
It's
way
like
of,
a hybrid.
it's like a hybrid. So
Yeah.
basically it's I worked with a publisher, but I hired them.
Mm-hmm.
And so the great thing with that is that I get to keep 100% of the ownership.
Yes.
And so actually in turn, that allowed me to donate 100% of the author royalties back to Season Center
Oh,
for
so
grieving
good.
children. So they're even
Yes.
on the back
Yes.
logo here. There's a whole
Oh,
chapter
so
about them, and
good.
they have their own books they've released over the years that I referenced part of the
Okay.
research. So yeah, that first, oh my gosh, it felt like having a third child when I had the book. And I kind of messaged everyone to tell them, like, oh my gosh, my book's finally out, because they've
Yes.
been waiting.
Yeah.
I've been telling them for years, it's coming, it's coming. I swear, like I'm still doing this thing.
Yeah.
And so it became a number one in a few different categories on
Amazing.
Amazon Canada, like mood disorders, depression, anxiety, and a really special one, coping with suicide grief.
Wow.
So I had originally set out to have a goal to support one, if I could support one child at Season Center,
Mm-hmm.
which is about $1,600 through the donations of the book. That was like my lifetime goal of the book.
Yes.
Because books inherently don't make a ton of money.
No.
There's a lot of costs that go into it,
Yes.
just printing and all those kind of things. Yeah, we've more. I think we've close to tripled that,
So good.
and until a year and a half. And some of the most beautiful conversations I've had with people that have read it, or they're about to read it. I'm at a book signing at a store, and we're getting into
Okay.
these great conversations. And to me, that's the best thing. Like, you can't put a price on that.
No.
Or I have had people tell me I bought this to give it to someone because I know they're struggling.
Which is even, that's gold right there.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So, you know, I think I was lucky to realize at one point that it wasn't about selling thousands and thousands of copies, or having global distribution, all those kind of things. I'm like, if it helps like one person shift their perspective
Yes.
on what they're going through, then that's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Literally helping one person
Yeah.
at a time.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Good for you. I
Thank
love
you.
it.
Thanks.
I love it. Well,
Thanks.
I haven't read it, but I will. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
I will be on that.
Welcome.
That's incredible. So my last question for you is this. What would be your words of wisdom for the audience based on everything that you've learned?
Well, it's going to sound a little bit corny, but there is a phrase kind of throughout the theme of my book.
Okay.
And that is that you can't rewrite your past, but you can remix your future. And we would probably need a whole other podcast to talk about my affinity with music, my
Yes.
25 years of DJing and music
Love
production.
it.
Again, like I said, there's the whole brain there,
Yeah.
right? But when I decided to, again, kind of incorporate music into the book, and
Love the front image. Yes.
every chapter is actually a record,
Oh, so
and there's
good.
side A, side B, side D, kind of like an extended LP. Is that, you know, we can take the parts, just like I've done remixes for different labels and worked on collaborated and stuff like that. In our own life, we can take the things that, you know, after we go through loss or something really difficult, the things that are still the most positive parts of our life, even if it's might be kind of clouded, you know. So I think about when I was a kid, when I lost my parents, well, guess what? There were still like so many other incredible people in my life. So at 10, like, how do I remix and rebuild a new life?
Yes.
It's with those people.
Yeah.
You know, or it's with, you know, a passion for, at that time for me, it was ski racing. So
Okay.
focus on ski racing, and then eventually like different sports, right? So I think that at times it can feel, when you go through a lot of loss, that you've
Yes.
lost everything. There's no pieces to rebuild. But actually, if you look hard enough, there is.
There is.
And over time, they'll really shine, and you will have to build something new,
Yes.
but you'll retain all those beautiful pieces, just like what you're trying to do in a remix.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Wow. You have an incredible story, and the ability for you to remix, to use your word,
Nice.
and rebuild your life to the point you are today, where you're really living your passion and helping so many people. I mean, all 25% of your gross revenue going to help Season Center for the proceeds of the book, all of those things that you're doing, the conversations you're having with individuals, the work you're doing at corporate, you really have taken what could be a life-ending situation and turned it into something incredible. And I hope you take moments every once in a while to recognize what a huge accomplishment and what a huge difference you're making to people's lives, because I'm in awe, absolute awe.
I'm kind of lost for words, but honestly, there's, along with the remixing of the pieces in our life that we knew, you have the ability to step back and look around all the inspiring people around us too. And that's what's also kept me going, is someone like Rolly,
Yes.
someone like Nina.
Yes.
There's so many people. So if we take a step back from our own life for a second and then be inspired by the incredible resilience and strength of others, that's also helped me.
Yes.
And that's also why reading is great. Learning not just within your own community and circle, learn history, learn around the world
Yes.
of what people, human beings have gone through,
Yeah.
and find strength in that.
Exactly. I have one off the cuff question for you, but how are you doing now? How's your mental health now?
I'd have to say that, you know, someone that had an anxiety disorder that ended up peaking at 38,
Okay.
getting diagnosed was the best thing,
Okay.
because I learned a lot of skills, worked with a cognitive behavioral therapist. Yeah, like my mental health, especially in terms of my anxiety levels, are like the best they've been in their lives.
Amazing.
But I'm human,
Mm.
right? So even if I've learned all these things, this is the annoying thing about our mental health is that every day is different,
Yes.
right? And just because I've come to this great point in my life doesn't mean there's not going to be hardships.
Yes.
There's still going to be grief. There's going to be things.
Mhm.
And that's the other thing I've realized, that just because I've gone through those things doesn't mean everything else is just,
Correct.
easy peasy.
No.
So I would say that I'm always working on it. And I think that's a key takeaway too for people, is understanding that every day can be a different day,
Mm-hmm.
and learning like a toolkit
Yes.
for it. So
For how you manage it.
yeah,
Well, congratulations
thank you.
on everything you have accomplished, and we'll continue to cheer you on. We'll read your book.
Thank
We
you.
will do everything to promote it as well. But it has been an absolute honor and a pleasure to have you. So thank you for joining us.
My pleasure as well. Thanks so much, Leslie.
Awesome. Thank you for joining me today. I am in awe of Joe, not only because of what he experienced in life, but his ability at 10 years old to focus on what was most important, the health and motherly nurturing of his younger brother. After we stopped recording, he told us more about the Season Center and the wall of photos of the parents lost by the children attending the center. And there hangs photos of both his parents. He doesn't see it as a harsh reminder, but as an anchor to the purpose of his work. If this story resonated with you, please share it with someone you care about, and be sure to subscribe so you can continue to hear more pivotal stories involving one question, one turning point, one powerful story. I'll see you next week with another guest on the Leslie Hawkins Podcast.